What's good, YouTube? Welcome to Draft Capital Sports for the knowledgeable football fan who hopes their team always has a plan. We are about to look into the top 10 free agent signings over the past free agency period. Thus far, there's still a few signings out there that can happen. But these are the top 10 signings that I think will have the most impact on the teams and the best value that the teams got during free agency period. But before we get started, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to make sure you stay locked in to Draft Capital Sports, where we provide all the NFL draft news, NFL offseason news, trades, etc. for your 2024 NFL offseason. Now let's get back to the video. Now first we start off with a team that desperately needs to have a great offseason due to the terrible offseason they had last year, and that's the Carolina Panthers. They made two key signings on that offensive line in Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis. Now, I like the Lewis signing a little bit better because I think they overpaid for Hunt a little bit, but in free agency, you have to overpay at times. But getting stout guards up the middle to protect Bryce Young will definitely make their investment, hopefully, in that number one pick last year pay off. They also got weapons to trade for. Deontay Johnson was also a great move. So I think the Panthers are now definitely headed in the right direction with a new GM, new head coach, new regime there. And look for the Panthers to make some progress. Not that they'll be a playoff team or anything like that, but with Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis, a couple of weapons, the Panthers are definitely on their way to a much better season in 2024. Now, next up, we have Xavier McKinney, the safety, to the Green Bay Packers, already adding to what was one of the best secondaries in the league last year. This is a big upgrade over Darnell Savage. To join Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes in that secondary, Green Bay's defense shouldn't miss a beat. I know they lost Devondre Campbell as well, but I'm sure they'll be able to replace that in the draft. The Green Bay Packers are going to be a scary team next year as that offense improves and the defense stays stable. Look out for the Green Bay Packers. Xavier McKinney is a baller and a playmaker. Great addition to that secondary. Now, Curtis Samuel is next to the Buffalo Bills. Their receiving core is now a lot better than it was. Gabe Davis was a good receiver, but he's also kind of a one-trick pony. Curtis Samuel is the playmaker opposite Stephon Diggs and Khalil Shakir that they needed. They can run a lot of motion offense now. They have guys who can press down the field and guys who can get open for Josh Allen. I think that Buffalo, again, will challenge in the playoffs. Not sure they can get over the hump, but we'll see, as the AFC is going to be stacked this year as far as the playoffs is concerned. And with this move and a couple others, I think the Bills are still going to be the class of the AFC East. So we'll see what they do in the playoffs. Now, Azeez Al-Shaair to the Houston Texans. Now, the Houston Texans made a lot of great moves. They could have had 5 moves on this list, just to be honest. But to get a captain of that defense, to put at middle linebacker in Shaair, who's familiar with DeMeco Ryans' defense, is going to be excellent for their defense. The Texans, with Danico Autry, Jeff Okudah, they added. This is just, if they have a dominant defense to go along with the best young offense in the league, the Texans are going to challenge the Chiefs, I believe, this year for the Super Bowl. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. You heard it here first. Texans in the AFC Championship game. I'm betting on them. Now, next up, we have Frankie Louvu to the Commanders, another linebacker. He joins Bobby Wagner on that defense now. I love the Louvu signing. They didn't overpay. He adds a very good, very underrated playmaker on defense down there with the Panthers. You know, the Panthers were going through their struggle, so he didn't really stand out. But I think with all the pieces that Washington has put together here this offseason, they're building a dominant defense. Now, what they're going to do on offense, that still remains to be seen. What quarterback they get, et cetera, et cetera. But their defense is going to be stout this year, especially with Louvu being probably the main playmaker on that defense next to Bobby Wagner, being able to learn from a Hall of Famer. Now, next up, we got Derrick Henry at number 5 to the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this is probably the free agency signing everybody wanted to see the most, because Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the backfield is going to be extremely dangerous. Now, Baltimore, I think, still needs to add some playmakers at wide receiver. Now, of course, Jordan Addison did have a breakout rookie campaign. Rashad Bateman still kind of trying to get it going. But I think having Derrick Henry in that backfield with Lamar Jackson, they're going to see stacked boxes on defense a lot. That'll loosen up that coverage. in the secondary and allow them. Derrick Henry's impact on this offense is going to be major. Now, Marquise Brown to the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, what else can you say? The rich get richer. This is exactly what Kansas City needed, which is a playmaker at wide receiver who can get downfield and be a threat to stretch the field. Patrick Mahomes and Marquise Brown. This is crazy. There's rumors that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to go there too. Kansas City Chiefs are going to try to three-peat, and we'll see what happens. But this is an awesome signing. 1 year, $7 million. They didn't pay a lot. They're going for the three-peat. Probably going to add some more weapons as well. Kansas City Chiefs getting it done yet again. Great organization. Now, next, I have Leonard Floyd at number 3, going to the 49ers. Reunites with Brandon Staley on that 49ers defense. Lloyd gives them a steady and dependable pass rusher opposite Nick Bosa on that 49ers defense. They've been trying to find somebody that can steadily play, not be injury prone, and produce opposite Nick Bosa. Floyd is going to fit that bill. He's been productive at every stop. The Bears, where he was drafted by, the Rams, the Bills. He's putting up 10 sacks. You can almost book it at this point. And Leonard Floyd is going to get the 49ers, hopefully, back into the NFC Championship game, and we'll see if they can get over the hump this year. It's going to be a little bit tougher, I believe, this year, though. Now, Danielle Hunter, this is the Texans' second time appearing on this list. The Texans became a real contender in this offseason, and they still have the draft to go. Danielle Hunter opposite Will Anderson Jr. with the addition of Danico Autry and I can't pronounce the guy's name from the Jacksonville Jaguars to that defensive line, as well as the additions to the secondary. They're looking to have a top-flight defense next year. They're definitely going to have a top-tier pass rush with Hunter and Will Anderson Jr. The Texans just, they flipped their organization around the right way very quickly into become a real competitive organization. And the Texans, Danielle Hunter, awesome signing. They paid a lot, but it's not a long-term deal. And you have to pay for production. You have to pay for star players. And that's just the way it is in the NFL. Now, number 1, and this should be everybody's number 1. Let's just be honest. The Pittsburgh Steelers, with the addition of Russell Wilson and the trade for Justin Fields, as they live up to their name, and they steal. They steal good players. They steal good players in good situations. That's why they have 5-6 Super Bowls. As an organization, this is how you do the quarterback position. You have a veteran that can produce, and you have a younger player that can also produce right up under them, learning the system. The Steelers will again be good for probably the next 10 years as Russell Wilson starts, and then Justin Fields takes over probably next year, maybe even the middle of this year, and continues to have a good career. That's just the way it's going to go. It's the Steelers. It's what they do. They got Arthur Smith as their offensive coordinator. Perfectly fits the style of both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields with his offense. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play defense, and they're going to win games. So the Chiefs and the Texans, I think this is the team they have to watch. Pittsburgh's defense is incredible, talent-wise. They added a couple pieces, Patrick Queen being the main one. Pittsburgh is going to be a team to watch. If they get a wide receiver or two in the draft, Pittsburgh is going to be, again, at the top of the AFC, challenging those Chiefs, challenging those Bills. They're going to be back in it. But that's all we got. Those are my top 10 free agency moves so far in this NFL offseason. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What move did I leave out? What move doesn't belong in your opinion? Comment below. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Hit that red subscribe button. And thank you for watching Draft Capital Sports. We out. Peace.